All right, assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's stand up for Negaraku and Uniza song.
Universiti Sultan Zainal ABIDin menjadi kebanggaan kita. Budaya cemerlang berwawasan melahirkan sarjana terbina. Ilmu demi faedah insan dikaji rahsia di muka bumi. Di lautan biru, di langit yang tinggi mencari kebesaranmu. Universiti Sultan Zainal ABIDin, banggaku menjadi wargamu. Dengan cemerlang mencipta kejayaan demi agama bangsa dan negara. Demi faedah insan dikaji rahsia di muka bumi. Di lautan biru, di langit yang tinggi mencari kebesaranmu. Universiti Sultan Zainal ABIDin, banggaku menjadi wargamu. Dengan cemerlang mencipta kejayaan demi agama bangsa dan negara.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. Right, okay, we are here for the executive talk by Tan Sri Tony Fernandez, entitled Asia from Zero to Hero. And on behalf of the university, we would like to welcome Tan Sri Tony Fernandez to UNIZA and to visit us. All right, before we start off our event, let us recite Al-Fatiha. All right, to start off our event, we would like to invite Yang Berbahagia Professor Dato' Dr. Ahmad Zubaidi Abdul Latif, our Vice Chancellor, for a welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin wa salatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin ashrafil mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon. I think this is a unique moment in the history of our university in which we can see so many expectant faces, not just on the down row, but also in the upper part of this hall. And we are so glad that finally Tony Fernandez, the man himself, has managed to come to our university. So I think, without further ado, because I think we are quite far behind in time, I would like to welcome Tan Sri to the stage. Thank you very much, Tan Sri.
Afternoon, everyone. Oh, it's okay. I'm low cost, man. It's all right, no problem. It's like, oh, I see. What do you want me to do? I'll be here. It's okay, no problem. Professor Dr. Ahmad Zubaidi Abdul Latif, Vice Chancellor, UNISA. Dr. Azmi Omar, Member of the Board of Directors. Professor Dr. Mahaz Riza Muhammad, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic. Professor Dr. Engineer, wow, you have a long title. I'll call you Bud. Okay. Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation. Professor Dr. Afandi Saleh, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Student Affairs. Incha Ismail Ahmad, Registrar, Higher Management, Deans, Deputy Deans, Heads of Departments, staff, and most importantly, students. Good afternoon. I haven't been to Terengganu since 2006, so I'm thrilled to be here. My staff were really happy to see me. Well, I think they were happy. They appeared to be happy, and I'm thrilled to be here in UNISA for the very first time. As some of you may know, I've just been appointed as a board of director, and I hope in some small way I can contribute to the university. So today was really, though we haven't had much of a chance to see some of the university, some of the campuses, the new campus, in the new hospital, and some of your hostels and some of the teaching, and hopefully after this I can spend a bit more time with some of you. I went to your entrepreneurial park as well and met some of the students there. Let me get started. Oh wow, I haven't seen this presentation, so we'll just wing it. From zero to hero is not my title. I don't classify myself as a hero, just another guy who had an idea to start an airline. So today I will get rid of the red cap, and I'll wear your cap. I'm really happy today. I will do this presentation, but I really want you guys to ask me as many questions as you want. Anything you want to ask me, please do so in any way, shape, and form. And I hope over the next few years, while I'm a board member, I'll get to know you better, and also we will talk about internships at AirAsia, we'll help you with careers, and so on and so forth. Okay? So ask me anything. I don't really know what this presentation is going to be, so we'll wing it. That was me when I was a baby. You can see I was fat already. Lost weight for a while and then put it on steadily. I went to school in England. My parents didn't like me, so they sent me away to boarding school. And what is this presentation, Amanda? And I was going to talk more about AirAsia. And I did very badly in school, actually. My parents wanted me to be a doctor. And my father was a doctor. And from the moment I came out of my mother's womb, I had a stethoscope around me. My first toy was a doctor's kit. You know, I had a medical coat. I was brainwashed into being a doctor. So actually the first thing I would tell you is don't let your parents tell you what to do. It's your life, right? You should decide what to do. Definitely don't listen to the Vice Chancellor, okay? Because he will give you bad advice. He is a doctor. And so my parents wanted me to be a doctor, and when I was doing my O-levels, I broke the news to them that I wasn't going to do medicine. I wanted to do biology, history, and economics. And they said, but you can't be a doctor if you do biology, history, and economics. And I said, well, I don't want to be a doctor. And there was like World War 25 in my house. You have to be a doctor. I said, no, it's my life. And they said, no, you have to be a doctor. We're paying for you. So they made me do physics, chemistry, and biology. And I said, if you make me do physics, chemistry, and biology, I will fail. And they didn't believe me because no respectable Malaysian would do that. And I said, fine, okay. So I got an A in biology and 2 Fs. I just wrote my name on the physics paper and fell asleep. And I did the same for chemistry. So I got my initials, Anthony Francis Fernandez, AFF, in my A-levels. The Vice Chancellor say, why did I invite him to come and talk to you? And I failed, and I didn't get into medical school, and my parents kind of disowned me. So I went to America for a year. I just worked in various jobs. I started in New York, went to Boston, and then worked my way down to Florida. And then I decided I wanted to go to the West Coast of America. And I was so dumb. I looked at the map and I thought, oh, that's not very far. And I took a Greyhound bus. 4 days later, I arrived in San Francisco. And I think that's where my love of planes came, because I was like, I'm never going to take another bus in my life. And then I went from San Francisco down to Los Angeles. And I had all kinds of jobs. I was a musician, so I worked in a baseball stadium playing the organ. I don't know if you ever heard those songs in America. Nee, 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 nee. I was doing that in one of my jobs. And, but it was a great year. Then I went to Australia for a year, and I taught in a school. I taught mathematics. And I was a good sportsman in a different body. I played hockey for England, and I played cricket for England. And so I was teaching kids, I was coaching sports, but also teaching mathematics. And then I realized I hadn't achieved anything in life. You know, I didn't know what to do. And so I retook my A-levels. I got a job in London as a waiter, retook my A-levels, and I got quite good grades. And then I went to college to do accountancy. And I hated accountancy. How many accounting students are there here? Oh, all in one row. Okay. Any of you accounting students wearing red or anything like red? No? No red? Okay, I was going to give you a free ticket to Hawaii. There's a lot of people. Lady in red scarf. Do you want a free ticket somewhere? Yes? Come down here. Now everyone's rushing back to change to red. Too late. Come, come, come. What's your name? Zara, what do you do?
I study in Bachelor in English and Communication.
Oh, great. Okay, how many years have you been in university?
3rd year student.
3rd year student. And what do you want to do after you
finish my
finish?
degree,
Yeah.
I want to work in public.
This is a good test for you now in communications. It's a Firefly microphone. Come use mine. I got it? Okay. Yeah. What do you want to do? What's your dream? Well, when you finish your degree? No? Come stand here.
Okay, after I finish my degree, I'm planning to further in corporate communication department, and also I'm interested in doing my interns in AirAsia company in my semester 8. So yeah.
So you speak to that guy, and he will give you an intern job. You work in my department. Okay? Okay, no, don't go. This is your lucky day because you look like an AirAsia staff. You even have red shoelaces. Okay, how old are you? Yeah. 21. Okay. You single? Yes? Okay. That's cheaper for me then. Okay, where would you like to go? You can go anywhere that AirAsia flies. Where? You have 10 seconds to choose.
I think I want to go to Algeria.
I don't fly to Algeria.
Okay.
You have to fly somewhere AirAsia flies. Kuala Terengganu, Kuantan. You can go anywhere.
How about Sabah?
Sabah can. You can go to. Now I tell you what. You can go to Sabah as well, but pick a foreign country that we fly. Yeah,
Wow, it's very great for me.
yeah.
So,
I give you some hints. Australia, Japan, Korea, Australia.
Australia.
Okay, pick a city in Australia.
A city in Australia.
Yeah. Queensland. Okay, Gold Coast. Okay, you can have a ticket to the Gold Coast. Okay. All right. You can pick one of your friends to go with you. Okay. This is pressure. Yeah, no, you cannot. You have to make one choice. Who wants to fly with her? Okay, so working in a company like AirAsia or any company, the toughest thing, this is your first lesson today from Uncle Tony, is making decisions, right? And too many companies take a long time to make decisions, and then nothing moves, nothing changes. So one of the great things about AirAsia is that we make decisions very fast, right? Not always right, sometimes a big disaster. Of course, we don't buy a plane tomorrow, we evaluate it, but decisions we make. And because we make decisions, we move very quickly. Secondly, when we make a wrong decision, we have no ego to say, wrong decision, let's start again, right? Change management, for all of those who are studying business, change management is very important to adapt because the world is changing so fast. Too many companies stand still and then they've gone. Nokia, for the older people, was like a massive phone company. Huge. They're gone. No more. BlackBerry was like #1, and now they've gone. So if you don't adapt quickly, you die. And that's change management, but you also got to make decisions quickly. Sometimes we do paralysis by analysis. We analyze, and by the time we made the decision, it's too late. So that's the first lesson you're going to get from me. So you now must pick one person from here. Now, I'm going to give you a task because nothing comes free. As you're a communication student, I'm going to send you to Australia and ask you to do a video from an Islamic perspective, a guide on, so future people going to Gold Coast will know which are the restaurants to go to, which are halal, where the places to go, where is the mosque, etc. Right? So you're going to do a video for people who are Islamic, who need to know how to go, where to go, what to eat, etc. in Gold Coast. So you have 10 seconds. Look quickly before I set the timer to pick someone. Okay, and if you pick a boy, I won't force you to be in the same room. We are not that low cost. Okay, so, I forgot your name, I'm so sorry. Zara. Zara, you have 10 seconds from now. If not, I'll pick someone for you and then you'll be in real problems. Quick, quick. Who wants to go with her? I know. Decisions. Time's running out. Dr. Masidi. Whoa. Come on down, Doc. Come. You're not a Malaysian. Where are you from? Where are you from? Assalamualaikum. You're from Algeria. Is this your boyfriend? You are Algerian, you want to go to Algeria. Come. What do you study? PhD student in biology. PhD student in biology. Wow. Okay. What is your PhD in? What is your PhD in? Art. Oh, very good. Okay, cool. Okay, you can go with her to Gold Coast. Okay, take one picture. Is it for real? Okay, it's for real. Okay, so you see Benji, he will sort you out. Okay, go get your visa. I'm sure Algerians need a visa. Yeah, you look stunned. No. That's what I love about Malaysia. Give an inch, they'll take a mile. No supervisor. That's his problem. You the supervisor. He's your full supervisor. Okay. I don't know, I never did it. I'm not smart enough. Okay, have a great time. Okay? Have a great time. Take care. See you. Okay. So, when do you want to go, by the way? Zara, when do you want to go? There's a flight leaving at 12 o'clock tonight. Yeah. When do you want to go? Oh, okay. That's in 2 years' time. No, this you can, to be my intern, you can be anytime. Just tell Benji. To go to Australia, up to you. You let Benji know. Okay? All right. See you. All right. So the trick is wear red next time you see me. So anyway, I became an accountant. I hated accountancy. I really hated it. I hated it so much that I passed everything first time. And then I became an auditor. Wow, that was the worst job in the world. Good luck when you become auditors. And I was like, you have to add up columns. I just tick everything, tick. And the toughest job was filling in your timesheet every 15 minutes. You have to tell your boss what you're doing. And when you're doing nothing, it's very hard to fill up a timesheet. But I passed everything, and then I became an auditor. And then I was a musician. I play keyboards, and I decided to go and I love music. Music is my life. It's still very much part of my life. And I wrote to every record company, and they all told me, they all rejected me, except one, Virgin. Virgin Records gave me an interview, and I went for the interview, and I failed. They rejected me as well. So I was walking out of the Virgin building, and Richard Branson, I don't know if you know Richard Branson, he's the owner of Virgin, was walking in. And I thought, shall I be a shy student or a shy Malaysian, or this is my chance? Second lesson for today, chances don't come very often. When you get a chance, grab it, because it may never come again. We Malaysians, we spend too long, or Algerians or whoever, spend too long analyzing. Check with grandmother, check with grandfather. Benji will check with his mother 22 times, you know, whether he should go out with a girl, and then his mother will say, no, cannot, so he won't. We analyze too much, and then the decision goes, right? The chance goes. Chances don't come very often. So I said, this is my chance. What's the chances of meeting the owner of Virgin Records right in front of me? So I said something about orangutans and Sarawak or something like that, and he started talking to me. And then he asked me for a cup of coffee because he was interested in Malaysia. He didn't know much about Malaysia. And then we talked, and he said, why are you here, by the way? And I said, I came for a job interview. And he said, did you get it? I said, no, I was rejected. So he said, there's something very special about you. I'm going to give you a job. And so I got a job in Virgin Television, not in Virgin Records, in Virgin Television, which was a very small part of Virgin. And but that was my great chance to get into Virgin. And I started in the accounting side. And Virgin Television, the balance sheet didn't balance. And I'm not exaggerating, maybe not right to say in this university, but I'm going to tell you the truth. In the cash book, there was drugs. It was like, my God, I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I didn't know. I passed all my accounting exams. And this is the other problem about universities. You can pass exams and really not know anything. Okay? And this is what I'm going to speak to the faculty later. So I passed my accounting exams first time. But I didn't understand debit or credit. So I was calling out my girlfriend and saying, yeah, you put the debit here, where do you put the credit? But you learn fast. One thing, suddenly accountancy, you click and you understand it, right? And then I fixed Virgin Television really quickly, and they promoted me very fast. And I became financial controller when I was like 26 years old. You know, I was really fast. And I became a friend of Richard Branson. And one day he came up to me and said, I'm going to start an airline. And I said, are you mad? You know, you don't have the money to start an airline. And he said, yep, I'm going to do it. I hate British Airways. It needs competition. And so he started Virgin Airlines, Virgin Atlantic. I knew he didn't have enough money to do both. So I think he would sell Virgin Television and Virgin Records. Whoever bought us would fire all of us. So I left. And I joined, I don't know if that's on the next slide. Oh, it is. I joined Warner Music. And I was in the finance department, right? So in Warner Music, the finance department was in the basement, right? No one wanted to see accountants. They didn't like accountants. All the cool music men were in the 6th floor and accountants were in the basement. You have that to come. Okay, the row over there. But there is a light, there is light. Actually, accountancy is one of the best degrees to have. Because wherever you are, whether you're vice chancellor of the university, whether you're a businessman, you cannot run away from numbers. Cannot. So having an accountancy degree, lousy song. Is that Ramli Sarip? What's the song? I hope it's legal. By the way, we need to change the Uniza song. It sounds really old-fashioned. Lyrics are okay. Music we must rearrange. I do it free for you. Up to you whether you want to take it or not. But I modernized the song a little bit. Because it sounds like every other song. UPM sounds the same. UKM must be one composer, Freddie Fernandez. So, anyway, he's really thinking, why did I invite him here? So we go back to Warner Music. So I joined Warner Music as an accountant. And they were doing these reports that made no sense. I was like, why are you writing these big reports? I know no one in the music business is going to read it. So again, I'm a little bit different. And I encourage you to all be independent and use this big brain that you have, you know? And so I went to my boss and I said, can I change the report? He said, no. This is how we've always done it for the last 12 years. And I said, no one's going to read this because you have to be an accountant to understand this report. And someone selling Led Zeppelin or Madonna is not going to understand this. And he said, I don't care. This is how we do it. So the free spirit in Tony Fernandez said, I don't want to take a salary from someone and do a job that no one is interested. So I went and bought my own my own software. This is very long ago, you wouldn't have heard of it, called Harvard Graphics. And I redid the report. And I told my girlfriend I'm going to be fired tomorrow, but I cannot be a hypocrite and write something and take a salary which I know no one is going to read. So I did the report, I handed it in, and I knew I was going to be fired the next day because I defied my boss. The next day I came in and I saw everyone run the computer, and I went in there and I was looking at it was my report. So I thought, that's it, I'm really finished. And I said, why are you looking at my report, to my friend? He said, well, the chairman of the record company wants to see you. He said he never got such a great report before. And so I went from the basement to the 6th floor to meet the god of Warner Music. And he said, this is the best piece of work I've ever seen. It's the first time in 12 years I understand the report. And he said, you're amazing, I love you. And we started talking, and I said I was a musician, I write songs and all this. And he said, you know what, why don't you go back home to Malaysia and be general manager of Warner Music Malaysia? I was like, wow, this is the best opportunity. I didn't ask salary, I didn't ask anything, which is another thing us Malaysians do. Again, we'll consult mother, father, grandfather, vice chancellor. Should I take this job? What is this? It's like an amazing opportunity. Grab it. So I took it. I had a huge pay cut, taking aside the purchasing parity. And I came back to Malaysia as, I don't know, 28-year-old, as general manager of Warner Music Malaysia. The CEO was an Austrian guy who was kind of having a holiday. You know, he was 50-odd. He wasn't pushing Warner Music much. And when I came to Warner Music, I saw we were only selling foreign music, only selling Madonna, Phil Collins, etc. So I did a big presentation in New York and said, can we sell local music? And they said, who wants to buy local music when you have Madonna? I said, people want to see their stars. They want to touch their stars. We have to have people who can dream to be stars. And so they gave me a budget. And my first artist I signed was Jamal Abdullah. And then I signed loads of artists. And in about 1 year, we had become the #1 record label from #4. And the Americans said, wow, you're only 28 years old, or 29, I can't remember, but you've done an amazing job, we'll make you CEO. And so life is about taking chances. I was the youngest CEO in the history of Warner Music anywhere in the world. I think I was 28, I can't remember exactly. And I spent a lot of money. I had everything. I had dangdut artists. Dangdut, I never heard of dangdut before. And a girl sat outside my office for 12 hours to ask me to listen to her cassette. And I listened to a cassette and I said, wow, what is this music? It's really great. And my A&R director said, it's dangdut. I said, what the hell is dangdut? And then he explained it from Indonesia, etc. And I said, wow, we need to, he said, oh, it's very low-class music. No record label sells it. I said, well, let's, for the corporate communications person, I said, let's change the brand of dangdut. Let's spend money on the imaging, etc. And I signed, this girl was a factory girl from Seremban, and she was an amazing singer, and her name was Emelina, right? So I signed Emelina, and I made her this dangdut queen. I think she's just come back into a TV series. And then I signed Masi Dayu and all these other dangdut artists. And then on the other side, I signed RAP, and that's where I met my partner, Kamarudin Maranun. Roslan Aziz Productions. I signed Sila Majid and all these others. And then I also signed Jamal and Salim from Iklim, and it was amazing. And I started Chinese music as well. And then one day I was telling your Vice Chancellor and the CEO, the chairman of the board, an artist came up to me. 5 guys in green with eyeliner and makeup and kind of looking a little bit like the guys there. And they played me their music. And I went, wow, what is this? It's really good. And they said it's nasheed music. And I said, wow, that's brilliant. It's really great music. They said, but no one sells nasheed music. I said, but this is great music. And so I went to visit them where they lived in Sungai Penchala. And I was like, this looks a bit of a scary place. I'm not sure I should do it. And so we didn't do it. And true enough, the government raided. It was Al-Akam. They were all from Al-Akam. And, you know, it was closed down. 2 years later, they came back. This time, still with the eyeliner, still with the makeup, but this time they were dressed in white. And said, I sign you now. And the band was called Raihan. Oh. And I was the first person to sign nasheed music to an international label, right? And my sales guy said, you are mad, this is crazy, the album cover is black, no one's gonna buy it, you know. And we shipped out, so me and my A&R director, Nasir, we said we don't care. This is great music. And Malaysians, not just Muslims, Malaysians must listen to this music. And I'm the boss, I don't care. You do what I say. We shipped out 200 cassettes, only 200 cassettes. And all my sales guys were laughing at me, saying, you can't do it, etc., etc. We ended up selling 2 million cassettes and CDs. It's the biggest record in the history of Malaysia. And I then sold 5 million in Indonesia, 250,000 in Singapore, 500,000 in Thailand. And total, by the time we finished everything, we almost sold 7 million records of Raihan. And it was incredible. The second record we did with Yusuf Islam, which is Cat Stevens, and we made Raihan international superstars. And then hundreds of other nasheed artists came up after that. And everyone bought nasheed music. Indians, Chinese, Eurasians, English. Everyone loved it because it was great music. And so the third lesson is never put yourself in a box. Always stretch your mind wide. So on one side I had dangdut. On the other side I had nasheed. And I had a wonderful time. So I was in Warner for 12 years. And then I got tired of piracy. And I'm sure no one in UNIZA has ever bought anything pirated. Because you're all good students. Yes. Notice the academic haven't said yes. And I said, and then I went through 3 mergers. It started at Warner Communications, it became Time Warner, and then AOL. And I was sitting in New York listening, and Time Warner came up with something called EBITDA, earnings before everything you don't like, right? And then you call it cash flow. Like, what about the debt in your balance sheet, right? So I hate EBITDA because it's a little bit of an accounting con job. And then they say, oh, that's cash flow. What about the interest that you're paying? So I was already frustrated. And I was listening to the new bosses of AOL. And I was thinking, what are they talking about? They're going to kill this company. And I made my career on one statement. So the boss of AOL said, Tony, what do you think our stock price should be? And in my heart, I was listening. Well, having listened to you, it was $80 at the time. If it's still $80, you're doing very well. I couldn't say that. And so I said $90. And he went, wrong boy, $500. Then my famous mouth opened. And I said, please give me some of the drugs you are taking. And he kind of looked at me, and I knew my career was over at Time Warner. So I went, I resigned. I sold my stock options at $80. My boss was super happy because he always wanted to get rid of me because he thought I was after his job, which I was. And so he paid me money to go quickly. So I left, and actually today the stock price of Time Warner is $20. They destroyed the company, right? And I left and I went to London, and I was sitting in a pub thinking, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And I saw EasyJet on TV. And I thought, wow, I always loved planes. I always told my mom used to sell Tupperware. She could sell ice to an Eskimo, right? And I used to go around Malaysia playing the piano. I got a Tupper feeling up in my head, sell more Tupperware, sell more Tupperware, sell more Tupperware. And she'd come to Kuala Terengganu and get all these women together and sell Tupperware, etc. So I always loved planes. And when I was about 7 years old, I told my dad, I'm going to start an airline one day. And of course he laughed at me, but that's all right. So I was sitting in this pub, and I saw Stelios, who owned EasyJet, which is the European equivalent of AirAsia. And I thought, what a great idea. So I took a bus, like my Uniza bus, to Uniza bus is a bit better. No cat, no water. And I went to Luton Airport, and I saw everything was orange. And I thought, wow, this is brilliant. People are flying to Barcelona for £8, to Paris for £2. At that point, there's a, oh, I'm told to move the slide. Oh wow, this is a really good presentation. I never prepare, so they never know what I'm going to say. I never follow speeches. That's EasyJet in Luton. It's all orange. And I was like, wow, I'm going to do this. Now, there's a very fine line between brilliance and stupidity. It's very, very narrow. You know, if I fail, people say you're real stupid. Now, of course, everyone says, oh, very clever. But next piece of advice, you only have one life, right? You don't want to sit there at 55 and say, I wish I did it. It's too late. Can't press the rewind button, right? So these guys cannot press rewind button anymore. You guys can, but you can't. So I always tell everyone, live your dream. It's okay if you fail. It's all right. Because if you don't try, you don't know. And if I failed, I can't be Vice Chancellor of UNIZA. Okay, give up being a brain surgeon and come and do this, which is a fantastic thing to do anyway. So I always say to people, don't worry about failure. Go and live your life. Try everything. Don't let people tell you you can't do anything. I was selling dangdut music. Now I'm giving free tickets to Algerian boy and communication girl, right? What did I know about airlines? Zero. So you can do anything you want to do if you put your heart to it. I didn't come back and ask my mother. Actually, my mother had passed away. I asked my dad. Actually, he had as well. But I didn't ask anybody, should I do it? I just did it. I called Kamarudin, who was my brother in the music business, and I said, I want to start an airline. And I gave him the idea. And he said, okay, let's do it. He didn't ask for a business plan. He didn't ask for anything. He said, okay, 50-50. I said, no, my idea. I take 51. Okay? And he said, what do I do? I said, can you find us 20 million ringgit? He said, okay, that's my job. And then I asked Aziz Bakar. He was in BMG Music. So Aziz, all his music sounded the same. Search, Wings, they just had long hair. One had longer than the other. Slam, etc. All the same, all produced by M. Nasir. But he sold more records than me. And so I asked Aziz, do you want to join? He said yes. So the three of us were sitting down. There's probably another slide now. Oh, here we go. All right. So we were sitting down, and 3 of us in a roti canai store. That's why my stomach is like it is. And me, Aziz, and Kamarudin, all from the music business. Kamarudin owned RAP, Roslan Aziz Productions, which was Sheila and Zainal and all of them. And Aziz was BMG. So 3 people from the music business. Because no one else would believe us, right? It's not very convincing from Warner Music to go start an airline. So 3 crazy guys. So we're sitting there, and then Aziz says, hey, how do we get an airline license? And we all looked at each other like, yeah, how do you get an airline license? Can't go to Carrefour and buy one, right? So we were like, yeah. Then I think Kamarudin mentioned the magical Malaysian words. Oh, we need political connections. And so we all looked at each other like, well, we have none. So and then I thought of Dato' Pahamin, a Kelantanese, very proud Kelantanese, who was Secretary General of Ministry of Domestic Trade. Now, he used to help us fight pirates, and he was very aggressive. He'll bring his walking stick, he'd beat up pirates, etc. He was very outspoken. So I said, let's go see Dato' Pahamin. And as he said, are you mad? This guy will beat us up. I said, he's the only guy we know. Let's go. So we went to see him in Dayabumi. That's where Ministry of Domestic Trade was. And we told him our idea. He said, this is a brilliant idea. He said, you guys are honest, hardworking. What do you want me to do? I said, can you be our chairman? He said, on. I'm retiring soon. And then he said, what would you like me to do first? I said, I just went for it. I said, could you organize for us to see Tun Mahathir? And he looked at me like, oh, Tun Mahathir doesn't like me. And I said, because Dato' Pahamin, during the Anwar Ibrahim time, supported Malaysians to demonstrate. And Tun Mahathir didn't like demonstrations. And he was the only Secretary General to say you should allow people to demonstrate. And Tun was very upset with him. But I said, look, try. And he got us the appointment in May of 2001. So we went to Putrajaya. I was terrified, right? Tun Mahathir is kind of a scary guy, right? And I turned up like 6 in the morning at Putrajaya, and the door was locked because I didn't want to be late. Our appointment was 10. So, by the way, I'm only late today because of the Vice Chancellor. He took me to his hospital. I'm like, okay, I've seen a building. But he's very proud of his hospital, even though it's not built yet. So we were walking around in boots. I'm like, why am I here? Because it's passion, which I'll come to later. He's very passionate about his hospital. There was no hospital beds, there were no doctors, there were just contractors there. But he still wanted to show me his hospital. I'm like, I want to meet students. I want to, I want to look around the campus. I want to see the goats. And the goats are in Busut, right? I was very disappointed. I want to see the goats, I want to see the horses. You have every animal here in this university. But I saw the hospital, which is just concrete right now. So we like to be on time, like AirAsia. Actually, we're not always on time. But I was only late today because of him, no one else. So I turn up at Putrajaya. I come in, I get into the Prime Minister's office, and someone notices me and Aziz Bakar. Of course, people know us from Anugerah Industry Music. Right? I was the founder of Anugerah Industry Music, our Academy Awards. And so they see us and say, why are you coming to see Tun about piracy? We said, no, we're starting an airline. Of course, he laughed, but we were used to it. Everyone laughed at us. No one took us seriously. So he said, okay. He said, bad day to see Tun today. And we said, why? He said, oh, opposition are seeing him first. Fadil Noor and Lim Kit Siang, to go and ask Tun to allow Anwar Ibrahim to have his operation in Germany. So he's going to be in a very bad mood. I said, oh, well, can't reschedule, can we? And then Dato Pahamin came and he was talking to some serious guys in suits, like this front row here. And we said to Dato, who are those guys? He said, oh, we have really bad luck. Before we see Tun, Malaysian airline system is seeing Tun about their $6 billion restructuring. So we were like, oh, forget it. We're not going to get our airline license, right? He's in a bad mood, and MAS are losing lots of money. So we went in there. I don't know if you've ever been to the Prime Minister's office, but it's a very large office. So Tun was walking. You can land a 737 in that office. It's very large. So it took him a long time to walk to the door. He's not the friendliest of guys, right? So he kind of looks up and he says, okay, make it fast because I'm sick. So I go, oh, great. Opposition, MAS, and Tun Mahathir is sick. Really good. But music always saves the day. I brought my last CD that I made, SM Salim and Siti Nurhaliza, with his favorite orchestra, the Malaysian Philharmonic Orchestra. So I gave it to Tun. Actually, SM Salim got Tan Sri Ship after that. And little bit of a smile from Tun. Took the CD. He didn't know us at all. So we made the presentation. He didn't say anything, except small smile when I said, if you give us the chance, I will destroy Singapore. Little bit of a smile. Okay? And then at the end of the presentation, he said, this is brilliant. This is great. You have my blessing. Wow, we were super excited. And he was super smart. He knew everything about low-cost carriers. He knew our model. And he said, you will succeed because you're not from the airline business. Because you have fresh ideas. You're going to think differently. And I know you will succeed because you have passion. Which is the next lesson. You must do things that you love. If I was forced to be a doctor, I would have been a terrible doctor. Really bad doctor. You know, I'll be operating, oops. I cut the aorta. That's it, finished. I didn't want to be a doctor. I would have been a bad doctor. So you must do things you love. Right? This Vice Chancellor, I'm like standing there, flooded. I'm only seeing cement. I came to see students at UNISA. What am I doing in a cement factory? But he was passionate. He was saying, oh, this is going to be the lobby. This is going to be here. We're going to have 25 faculties. I was thinking to myself, I don't care. Because we can talk about it later. I want to meet the students. I want to see the goats. I want to see the horses. I want to see the goat's milk. I want to try the goat's milk. So, but that's passion. He's very proud of it. Even though it's just another cement building, right? I'm like, and that I love. I love people who are passionate. So I shut my mouth and I walked around cement buildings in the hot sun. And then he showed me the Great Lake, which is a beautiful lake. And I had lots of ideas, which I'll talk about later in our meeting. But you must have passion, because passion can beat everything else. If you love what you do, it's amazing what you can achieve. You know, I'm with Rodi now. We're in the stadium board. And now suddenly all the board members are so excited. You know, we've got passion. Rodi came up with the idea of selling all the corporate boxes. And he's a young entrepreneur, right? So I said, go for it. 20,000 ringgit. I went, whoa, that's a lot. You can have 10 medical students for one box. And we sold out the boxes. And then when Malaysia got to the final, he said, I want to raise it to 30,000 ringgit. I said, wow, come and work for AirAsia now. And we sold out in less than 24 hours. And the board is passionate. They're excited. They got lots of ideas to make this. No one heard of PSM before. Now everyone's talking about PSM. So passion is something they can't teach you here. Passion is in here. And so you, as I said, you have one life. You've got to live every day as though it's the last day of your life. And you must put 150% into everything you do. Right? I come here, I can do a speech and bugger off, but I want to try and give you as much as I can. I'm passionate about all of you, and I want to give you whatever advice I can give. Some of it is rubbish, some of it is good. But passion can beat everything. And if you love what you do, every morning, we Malaysians, we spend our time complaining. All of them will be complaining about the Vice-Chancellor every day. For sure. Guilty, 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 guilty. But I would say to them, don't complain. Make a difference and change. So I tell my staff, if there's things wrong with me, tell me I'm wrong. Be passionate about your job. This is what you have to do. Make a difference. So be positive. Life is much more fun being positive than negative. We Malaysians spend too much time being negative and blaming everybody for everything else when we can make a difference ourselves. Right? That's the best advice I can do you. And it's much more fun being positive. And if things are wrong, and for sure things are going to be wrong, change. Don't keep quiet. In the same way I changed the report, or I changed and went and saw Richard Branson. Make that difference. Because you have one life, and life is great. We're lucky to be healthy and alive, and all of you are much healthier than me. But I'm going to the hospital soon. And in his new hospital, I'll be super healthy. Be positive and be passionate. Love what you do. Because if you love what you do, it's amazing what you can achieve. Okay? So, the killer statement from Tun Mahathir was, no new airline license. We were like, ugh. High for like 1 nanosecond. He said, I had too many failed airlines, go and buy an airline. So we came out of there like, Kamarudin said, we have no money to buy anything because we didn't have much money. I'm a super positive person. I'm infectiously positive, sometimes negative, because I'm positive even when I shouldn't be positive. And I said, there must be an airline for sale. And we found one called Pelangi Air, which was owned by Terengganu, right? And we went to see them, and boy, those accounts should be in Museum Negara. I have never seen accounts like that in my life. So we turned that down. And then I was playing golf, in the days that I played golf, and I saw the Corporacom director, that's why Corporacom people are very important to me, of DRB Highcom. And I said, hey, you guys own an airline. And he said, yeah, do you want to buy it? I said, yeah. He said, you can have it tomorrow. We hate it. So I said, okay, and it was called AirAsia. And you kind of heard of AirAsia, you didn't hear it, you heard about it, etc. So I went to DRB Highcom. We met Tan Sri Saleh and Dato Tik. We said we want to buy AirAsia. And he said, okay, you can have it tomorrow. They were very consistent. They said, how much do you want to buy it for? And I said, 1 ringgit. And he said, sure, you can have it tomorrow. I thought, damn, I should have said, pay me to take this airline away. First business mistake I made. And so on September the 9th, 2001, we signed to buy AirAsia for 1 ringgit. We said, subject to due diligence. We only said subject to due diligence because we had no money. Me and Kamarudin were remortgaging our house to get 2 million ringgit. That's all the money we had. And in fact, Standard Chartered rejected my remortgage. So we only had 1 million ringgit to start AirAsia. 3 days after we signed was 9/11. Welcome to the aviation business. You know, I was watching Malaysia play Laos in Bukit Jalil, and we were losing to Laos. I was like, how can we lose to Laos? And people were texting me, America has been attacked, Twin Towers is collapsed. And I was like, can't be true. Nothing can be worse than Malaysia losing to Laos. And then I came home and you see the Twin Towers falling and oil price was shooting up. And Kamarudin said, are we sure we're going to do this? I said, look, people still have to fly to KK and Penang. Doesn't matter. We go ahead. This is a good idea. If we can make flying cheap, it will work. So on December the 8th, 2001, we took over from DRB Highcom for 1 ringgit. And that's the receipt on the left, 1 ringgit. In fact, we didn't have the 1 ringgit. When they came to ask us for the 1 ringgit, me and Cameroon had no money in our wallet. So we had to borrow the 1 ringgit from DRB Highcom. Dato' Tik gave us the 1 ringgit. And we took over. And that's the signing ceremony on the bottom. And that was the first day me and Cameroon at AirAsia. A lot thinner and a lot more hair. 17 years ago. And our birthday was yesterday. Yesterday we were 17 years old since we took over. And it's been an incredible story. We started with 2 planes, and now we have 250 planes. We started with 200 staff, and now we have 22,000 staff. And the first year we carried 200,000 passengers, and this year we will carry 90 million passengers. So it's been an incredible, incredible ride. And so that was the old AirAsia. It was blue and green and a bird. I don't know why all airlines have some animal thing, right? We have birds, we have lions, we have tigers. And in Malaysia, we have one named after an insect called firefly. Okay? Really bad name, because firefly is the shortest living insect in the insect kingdom. Okay? So someone, where's the biology student? You need to teach Malaysian Airlines about the insect kingdom. So for the branding people here, I had no money. So I said, why do we have 3 images? Blue, green, and a bird. And I thought the bird was facing the wrong way anyway. So if you think of the biggest brands in the world, if I say Coca-Cola, you're all thinking of Coca-Cola and writing. If I say Nike, you're thinking of Nike swoosh, right? If I say Shell, you're thinking of the Shell logo. If I say Petronas, you're thinking of the green Petronas logo. Only one image in your mind. So why spend money on 3 images and 1 color? Generally, the biggest brands have 1 color. So I said, drop the bird, use our name as our logo. And then I said, change it to red, because red is the strongest color, blue and green. So we went there. Look at the difference. With a simple change of color, right? So AirAsia became our brand. And as I said, over the last few years, we have, this number's out of date. It's actually going to be 90 million passengers as a group. And we've grown, and we started airlines 335 routes. And guess which was the first international destination I did after Phuket? Was Bandung. No one flew to Bandung. Nobody flew to Bandung. Not even an Indonesian airline flew to Bandung. And so I decided to fly to Bandung because I knew Bandung from dangdut music. I recorded all my dangdut music in Bandung, right? So we've had phenomenal growth, 335 routes. 60% of those routes are routes that were never done before. Never done before. And the rest is history. And we, again, as a Malaysian company, I'm super proud. We've won the world's best low-cost airline 10 times in a row. So 10 of our 17 years, we've been the world's best. And again, we Malaysians can be the world's best. We don't need protection. We have the talent. We set our standards at AirAsia. We didn't compare ourselves with Mars or anyone else. We said, let's compare ourselves with the best. And let's be the best. Because globalization is here. We can't run away from that. And if we want to be the best and compete, we're the best. And we love competition. We don't try and block airlines. We don't try and stop routes. We just say competition is good for you. If Malindo is better than us, then we deserve to lose. If Firefly and Mars are better than us, then so be it. Competition makes you better. And so we encourage that. And we have to be the best if we want to compete. So, what's our secret? I mean, I won't spend too long. I spent a long time on the first part, which wasn't this presentation, because I wanted you to learn our history. And I wanted you to learn about passion, and I wanted you to go out there and do your best, and I wanted all those things I told you. So there's hundreds more things I'd like to teach you, but there's plenty more time for me to come back. But for me, I'm very flat structure. We don't have offices. I have a desk. I dress down. I dressed up today because of you guys. But really, I wear jeans and T-shirt every day. In the early days, Malaysian airports thought I was a Bangladeshi immigrant, illegal immigrant. And they used to always stop me and say, who are you? And I say, oh, it's Tony Fernandez. Okay, go. But I rather look worse than my staff. If I look worse than my staff, they feel confident talking to me. If I'm wearing a suit and tie and bodyguards and all this rubbish, no one's going to ever talk to me. And I'd rather have 20,000 brains working for me than just 10. Too many Asian companies, it's only the top level that decides everything. At AirAsia, anyone can give an idea, right? And I carry bags, and I clean planes, and I'm a cabin crew one day, because you cannot be an effective leader unless you know what your staff are doing. Too many CEOs sit in their office and don't go down to the ground. If you don't go down to the ground, you cannot be an effective leader. So half my job is walking around the office the whole time, talking, being a cabin crew. I don't do it anymore because everyone knows me and it causes delays and everyone wants to take a photograph and it's a nightmare, so I don't do it anymore. And I carry bags still, and the pilot will always say, ladies and gentlemen, look, we love you so much. If you look at the right-hand side of the plane, you will see our CEO carrying your bag, all right? And I do it because I got to know what's going on, right? So there we go. And we're a real believer in talent. When you become CEOs in the company, your most important thing is talent, is people. Your biggest asset are the people in your company. And that's what we're damn good at doing. We have promoted people from cabin crew to pilots, from carrying bags for us to pilots. I think everyone has a brain. It's how you turn that brain into action. And our job is to turn raw diamonds into diamonds. Okay? And we believe in equal opportunity. There were no female pilots in Malaysia before AirAsia. And now we have the most female pilots as a percentage of any airline in the world. And the other day was history. Captain was female, co-pilot was female, all the cabin crew were female, engineer was female, and all the passengers were male. No, that bit's not true. So again, many airlines were ignoring 50% of their workforce. And so we just did the simple thing. Now we have a great office, and one day I hope I can allow, if your Vice Chancellor allows you, some of you can come down to our office and see how we work. Because the most important thing in AirAsia is our culture. It's very flat, it allows innovation, it allows thinking, and I said we have 20,000 brains. And I said innovation is not just technology. Innovation is how you manage your staff, it's how you manage management, it's how you manage destinations. 60% of our destinations were routes that were never done before. It's not just technology. I won't go through this. And, we're now using our digital. We have so much data. I'm a big believer in digital. I think the future is all about the digital world. And we have spent 2 years getting our data all ready. We work with Palantir, we work with Google, and we're building new businesses. We're going to have our own bank called BigPay. We're going to have our own DHL called Redbox. And we're going to have a fantastic, unique app called Big Life, which is our loyalty program. I won't bore you, but this is, again, re-energizing our business. If we stay as an airline, we'll eventually die. So we have to keep reinventing ourselves. And I'm changing ourselves from an airline to a digital company. And you'll see it. And we can't run away from the digital world. All of you have smartphones. All of you are using it all the time, etc., etc. So we're just going to capture that. So, as I could spend 2 hours telling you about all of these things, but I spent a long time talking to you about our history. And I just want to say, dream. It's okay to dream. From some dreams comes some reality, right? And if you don't dream, you never know, right? So, you know, we dreamt about sponsoring Manchester United. Very painful, because I hate that football club. Right? But when we started flying in AirAsia, no one knew us. And branding is really important. Your corporate comms has talked non-stop about branding, right, to me. And branding is really important. When we started, people thought you are not safe, you fly next to a chicken, you have to carry your own bags to the plane. So when we sponsored Manchester United, wow, everyone thought, wow, AirAsia, Manchester United. You know, we were with Vodafone and Budweiser and big brands. Me and Kamarudin, we didn't even watch the game. We were just looking at our name on the board, right, when it came up. So dream big. You know, we bought a football club. It's semi-disaster. We lost yesterday, very depressing. Robbed by the referee. But I used to listen to football on the radio. And there I am now watching live at Wembley Stadium, you know, when we won the playoff final. It's a dream. I dreamt about all these things. I owned a Formula One team. Disaster. I lost lots of money. I was always last. Well, I beat Richard Branson. But I did it. It was my dream. I used to go to Batu Tiga. I used to stand outside and watch it. I didn't care I failed. I did something that I dreamt about. And it's okay. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, and many people would like to drive that bus, I've lived a great life, right? So live each day as though it's your last. I won't. Or maybe I will. I'll finish off on this. So when I went to boarding school in England, which I'd never been to England before, and my parents put me on a Qantas plane, and I arrived in London, and I saw everyone was white. I'd never seen so many white people before. I told my daughter, you have no such problem, because when you arrive in London now, everyone's Indian. So you feel quite at home when you get there. And I arrived at my boarding school, and it was like, my God, what have I done wrong in my life? It was like a prison camp, right? And they give you this box, which is called your tuck box. And you put your life's possessions in this box. About 25 years after I left the school, I don't know exactly how long, my best friend called me up and said, Tony, we found your tuck box. I said, oh, great, send it over. So he sent it to my house in London. And I saw 3 stickers on that tuck box, which were my 3 dreams as a 12-year-old. On the left-hand side was Qantas Airways, because I always wanted to start an airline. In the middle was Williams Formula One team, because I wanted to own a Formula One team. And on the right-hand side was West Ham United, which was a football club I used to support. And inside the box was an ABBA cassette, original. And that was my life. And it was very emotional. At that time I received it, I was at 48, I think. As a 12-year-old, there were my dreams as a 12-year-old. To be in the music business, to own a football club, to own a Formula One team, and to own an airline. And there was my life in this box. So dreams do come true. Dream hard, believe the unbelievable, and never take no for an answer. And of course, we'll be doing lots for Terengganu now, more, and I hope I'll help in taking UNISA, a small part, take UNISA to a different sky. And always have fun. That was my boss, Richard Branson, who lost a bet to me and had to be a stewardess on my flight. So I finally got my boss to work for me. So, ladies and gentlemen, believe the unbelievable, dare to dream, and never take no for an answer. Thank you for listening.
All right, a big hands to Tan Sri Tony Fernandez. And now we are going to open up a question and answering session. I'm not sure whether you'll get free tickets, but you can try.
Yes, sir. Whoa, you have a book of questions. I can.
Test. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Okay. My question is, what kind of things that inspired you every day whenever you wake up and you just like, I want to do this today and for this. Have you ever dreamed like that? As example, me, myself, and I. Okay. As example, I always, whenever I wake up, I look up to my mother's picture, my father's picture, and I just like, I want to bring them to Mecca. I always dream like that. And then I ever do some mad things like, after FPM, I go to Kuala Lumpur and go for a casting to be an actor because I look up in Instagram, I see the actor bring their parents to the Mecca. I always want to do that.
Yeah.
But I just like, how and when? Because I am nobody. I just come from not the rich people, not rich family. And I never go to the airport. I just park my motorcycle beside the airport and just like, I want to ride this plane. I want to go to Mecca. I want to bring my parents. I want to bring my family. Since I am little, and I always like, I was searching like that. Okay, and so how do you inspire yourself to beat this Asia?
Okay, wow, that's a tough question. You're halfway there. You're halfway there because that's your dream, right? That's your dream, is to take your parents to Mecca. And when you have a dream, you'll make it. You'll make it happen, right? So it goes back to everything I said in the presentation, that you have to have a dream first, and you have to just be so determined to make it happen, right? I mean, who was I to start an airline? I had no money, I had no experience, but we did it. And so that is what I'm trying to say. So your picture of your mom and dad on your bed is your inspiration, right? You obviously love them so much and you want to do something for them that they never dreamt they could do themselves. And look at your face. That inspires me, right? You're a good guy. What are you studying? Okay. Please pray for me. And you're going to do it. I have zero faith that you will fail. You will succeed. I can see it in your face, right? So your inspiration is your parents, and you just got to keep going till you get there. And that's just one step. When you do that, you want to do something else, right? You want to motivate many young people to be good Muslims. You want to help in teaching. I can see it in your face, right? I can see that's your passion. You want to teach people how to be better people, right? And you will, without a doubt, because you're a good person yourself. And, you know, you never know. If you put your heart to it, it will come. So your inspiration has to come from inside. And you want to be inspired by people. Your parents are your inspiration. So you'll get it. Where are you from? From where? Dungun, okay. Okay. That's a beautiful part of the world. I've never been, but I've only seen pictures. So one day you can take me there. Okay? Cool. What's your name? Rifki. Okay. Cool. Next question. Man in yellow.
Thank you. Hello, Tong Sri.
Hi.
My name is Amar, and I'm currently taking a Bachelor of Social Science, Anthropology and Dawah in my last semester in UNISA.
Wow, that's tough.
So basically, you mentioned about dreams just now,
Yeah.
and I'm also having a dream.
Yeah.
My dream is to fly to Tokyo for the Tokyo Olympic 2020, where I have a dream that I'll be in Tokyo Stadium supporting our national team.
Yeah.
And if by the grace of God, if God willing, maybe someday Asia will fly me to Tokyo.
Okay.
And I'll bring UNISA flag and Malaysia flag. Don't worry.
Okay.
So I have one question and one suggestion for you.
Yeah, sure.
Number one is you are currently handling a very big company, a world brand company. There must be someday that you have a very tough time to make a decision. So as a leader, how you handle that kind of situation? Because I'm also having a dream that I will run a company someday. So I need that some motivation from you on how to handle that kind of situation. And my suggestion is, we know that AirAsia have the in-flight magazine.
Yeah.
So I'm suggesting why not, maybe you can put just small space for UNISA so that UNISA can promote maybe our program and also maybe our product from students so that we can promote UNISA around the world. Thank you.
For a small fee, we can do that. No. That's the advantage of having you on the board, right? I can do that. So I'm sure we can do that. I'll get my branding team to come up and my magazine team to come up. We're actually going to get rid of the magazine soon. We're going to replace it with a digital magazine. Because there's Wi-Fi on the plane, you'll come on the plane, you'll download the magazine, and it'll be an interactive magazine. So we can put the goats live on the magazine. We can sell the goat's milk, etc. Right? When you see it, you'll be able to buy the goat's milk. I'm making a joke of it, but I'm being actually real. That's how interactive the magazine will be. And look, UPM kind of owned me because I did a lot with UPM, but now I'm kind of here, right? So we will promote the hell out of you guys for sure. How do I get motivated every day? And it's a tough business, the airline business. It's really tough. You know, the whole world is against. Sometimes I feel the whole world is against me, and we have to work with the government because we're regulated, right? The routes come from the government, the airport comes from the government, etc. In the music industry, I didn't need any politician, so it's very tough. So how do I deal with that? I surround myself with good people, right? So we all sit together, we cry together, we laugh together. When oil price is high, we play the blues. When oil price is low, we sing nasheed songs. Okay? So, you know, one day I'll sing you a Raihan song. You'll be very surprised how good I am. But I'm not a good singer, but I'll play it better. So, the only way you can't... Too many leaders carry everything on their own shoulders, and you die. You have to surround yourself with good people and talk and share experiences. So that's the best advice I can give you. Okay? And hopefully your dream will come true. How do you measure yourself? Is it by GPA or by... How do you measure your GPA? So what's the best degree you can get? 4, is it?
Yeah.
4? So what are you targeting?
Right now?
Yeah. Oh, I pulled the muscle.
Alhamdulillah, currently this is my last semester and my CGPA is 3.53.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get another first class honor this semester so that I can fulfill my dream to get first class when I'm graduating soon.
Okay, very good. So if you get your first class, I'll give you a free ticket to Tokyo. Okay? So you can give it to... nothing comes easy in life. Okay, next question. Okay, no, don't give me any more free ticket questions, okay? Yes, ma'am. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Najwa.
Hi, Najwa.
But you can call me Wawi.
Wawi.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. So
Hi, Wawi.
Hello. Okay, so translate as you say that life is about taking chances.
Yeah.
So here I am about to grab a chance.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm currently doing English with communication.
Yeah, your English is great, by the way.
Thank you.
Are you friends?
No, she's my senior.
Oh, so you can't be friends with a senior?
Okay.
Whoa, tough university. Chancellor.
Okay, so I'm
Vice
sure
Chancellor.
I'm not getting any tickets today. So,
Okay.
but before that, my mom might say no to this, but can I do an internship specifically under you too?
Yeah, you
for
can. You
corporate
can. I like you.
communication?
I like your name. So
Okay,
I've got 2 interns already, right? Not bad. Cheap labor. Okay,
Okay,
so yeah, you can. I like your personality.
Thank you.
You got a bit of style.
The real question is,
Oh.
currently I'm studying corporate communication as a
Yeah.
semester, and I like to know this so that maybe I can use it as an example in my finals.
Yeah.
So you say that AirAsia makes decisions really fast. So were there any major crises that happened to AirAsia when you made those decisions, and how did you solve those crises?
Yeah.
Like, do you use CSR or anything?
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
thank
great. Firstly, you can be an intern. Where are you from?
Terengganu,
Terengganu. And
Yes.
where were you at school?
SMK Bukit Tunggal.
Okay. This is the first time I've ever pulled my muscle on stage. Can I just stretch a bit? Where's the doctor? Ah! Let's go to that hospital that's not built. Hold up. Huh? No beds yet? Okay. I hope I don't need a bed. So I just stretch a bit, okay? Okay. It's almost gone. So, can I stretch one more time? What was your question? Yeah, I know, crisis.
The crisis.
So, after I had the worst crisis an airline boss can have, I lost an aircraft in Indonesia, which was the worst day of my life and continues to be the worst day of my life. We lost an aircraft from Surabaya to Singapore. And I never went to any crisis communications or anything like that. And I get a phone call saying an aircraft is missing. And you know, your whole world is like destroyed in like 1 second, right? And so I, oh, wow, this is bad. So I need that goat smoke. So anyway, the decision was, the lawyer said, you don't have to go to Surabaya. It's an Indonesian plane. You don't need to go. And then I sat there, and it was an instant decision. I said, are you mad? This is my airline. I need to be there so that the relatives know that the number one in the company is there. And I need to be there for my staff. You can't just be there for the good things. You've got to be there for the bad things as well. And so I flew to Surabaya, and I was the first airline CEO to meet every single family. And I gave them my mobile phone number. And it's really hard. What do you tell someone who's lost their family on our aircraft? But I thought it was my responsibility to do that. And that was a 1 minute decision to do that. So that's the worst thing I've done. I mean, the worst thing I've had to do. And I made that decision very, very fast. And like 1 hour later, 2 hours later, I was in Surabaya, meeting all the families. So I don't know what the advice is, but you've got to make decisions quickly. I couldn't sit there for hours and hours. And I didn't know whether it was right or wrong, but I knew in my heart I had to go there. So I just did it. Okay, and if you want to be an intern with us, Benji will hook you up. Okay? Thank you, Wawi. Wawi, I like that name. Okay, there's a lady behind you first. Then I'll come to you, sir. Don't worry.
Hello, Tan Sri.
Hi.
My name is
Just call me Tony. Easier.
Hello, Tony. My name is Farah.
Hi, Farah.
I'm majoring in program international relations, which is focusing more on political science and international law.
Yeah.
I am really passionate about.
Oh, it's okay, it's okay. Wow, now I look like an old man.
I'm really passionate about the
okay.
the politics and the international law
Yeah.
regarding the United Nations.
Oh, wow, cool.
And so on.
Yeah.
So, two major questions. Are you open the chance for the young generation in Malaysia to enhance their skills for in exchange programs? Like, do you open exchange programs for the young generation in Malaysia? And second question, are you interested in books? What kind of books do you read? And can you give me a suggestion about
Okay.
your books?
Books, yeah.
You love.
I haven't read a book for a long time, but you can read my book. It's available online for a small fee. I don't read books. I read a lot of articles. I read a lot on the internet. Regarding exchange programs, actually, we have a fantastic minister who's 25 years old, called Syed Sadiq, and I think he's very much in favor of exchange students and exchange programs, and AirAsia is looking at how we can help on that, along with other companies.
I mean, like the future young diplomats.
Future, well, yeah, that's not really...
I want to become a diplomat or
Okay.
politicians.
Yeah, well, AirAsia doesn't really train you to be a politician.
But I mean, the future leaders.
Yeah,
like you.
yeah. Well, certainly leadership we can help, but in terms of becoming a politician and a diplomat, there are many young programs that I know of. I mean, Matt Rodi over here will be able to help you on that. I know there's the Padana Fellowship is one of them, and there are lots of things. So see this guy here. He can explain all of that to you. And when you become a politician and you become Minister of Transport, please be nice to AirAsia. Okay? But it's not really an area that we don't train diplomats, but I mean, there's a lot of good programs. And Syed Sadiq is, obviously I know him through my stadium job. He's very passionate about the youth. And I'm sure he would love to meet people like you to discuss on exchange programs. So see Rodi later, and he can give you more information. Okay, and good luck in being a politician.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, you need to lose weight like me.
Hello, Don Sri.
Hi.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Before I let, I want to wish to Asia happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Muhammad Iqmal Firdaus Mustafa. You can call me Bob. Because, yes, Kak Yuniza orang panggil saya Bob.
Okay, Bob.
Okay, alright. I want to ask you
Yeah.
about what is a future planning about the volunteer works with Asia.
Okay.
Because if you had a planning, I from the Pertubuhan Sukarelawan Siswa Yuniza, the big of the club and society, I appreciate it for collaboration with Asia Airlines.
Sure. We have lots of volunteerism. We have our own foundation called AirAsia Foundation, where we do lots of things, from disasters to ongoing programs. So actually the color of AirAsia Foundation is the t-shirt you're wearing. So again, Benji can put you in touch, and if Yuniza wants to work with our volunteerism, more than happy.
Yes.
So the person who runs it is a name called Manching, and so Benji will be able to put you in touch. Okay, we do lots of things, from building dams to building schools in Nepal, to helping in Palau now, Palu in Indonesia.
Because we at the Persis Yuniza,
Yeah.
we want to fly to Palu the next year with TNC HEPA.
Sure, yeah. We don't fly to Palu or anywhere near it. So that's one problem, but we can get you as far as you want to. But
Yes.
there are lots of things. Unfortunately, there are lots of disasters everywhere. So we need people like you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for volunteering. Yes, accounting student in orange shirt. Okay. Well, this is very...
Good evening, Mr. Tony. I'll try to make a simple question.
Sure.
Okay, my name is Muhammad Fazli Syam. I just dropped by here. Okay, I have two questions. First question is about time management. So, when you deal with the other people, how you fit the time and how you manage your time in your life? And the second question is, we know Asia has a competitive market in Asia. So what you think about the another challenge with the Firefly and other participants? So I just want to know what is your future.
What do you do?
I'm just now I just doing my research and bringing the investor to do innovation.
Oh, you're a businessman.
Actually, I'm interested about the airline industry. So
you want to start an airline?
Yeah.
Sure, buy mine.
Okay. So I try to catch you later lah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Great. You look like a rock star. I think first question is time management. Wow. Professor Wahid Omar has already texted me. Why are you in UNIZA and not UTM? Text him. Send him a picture. So I noticed the universities are very competitive, especially the vice chancellors. Soon I'll get from Raja, Sophia, a text message. Anyway, answer your question. Time management is really hard in my life because, like, I have AirAsia, then I have Stadium, then I have UNISA, but I always am able to do it. I have good people surrounding me that kind of manage my time, and it's tough. It's probably the most important thing, and it's tough. You know, it was tough to get up this morning to come to Tringato, to be honest. But I promised, and so I come. So discipline is probably the most important thing. Competition, I love competition, as I said. And there's always a market for competitors. There's always someone who can do it better. So I love competition. I have no problem with competition. Okay, and we must never try to block competition. Too many of us spend too much time trying to block competition. Okay, and good luck in starting your airline. Don't name it after an insect. Don't call it Cockroach Airlines or, you know, another animal. Good luck. Yes, sir. Wow, we have loads of questions. I answer this guy first, then I'll come to you, ma'am.
Okay. Welcome to UNISA, and I'm really glad and I'm really flattered to see you today. Okay. From my personal experience, okay, my first flight is going in AirAsia, okay, and I don't know why, but you are like an idol in airlines here, okay. Now, the thing is, I know you have been from the scratch, right? You have been gone through a lot of things. Maybe some are good, some are bad, some are disappointing, but you are so inspiring to others, which we don't know. Like, even though what is happening to the airline industry is like, no, we have still faith in this. Like, you are giving that inspirational thing to everyone. Like, the question I'm going to ask now is, okay, my dad is investing in your company. Okay, he's an investor, shareholder. Okay. Since we heard about your crisis, Indonesia, I told my dad personally, like, how you can trust and believe that this particular company or airline is going to come. The first thing he told me is that I believe in the CEO of the company because I know him, that he took it from the scratch. And he believes that the way he working is so much good. So the question I'm asking is, how can you maintain your shareholders and your staff, your employees, and how can you manage a low-cost carrier airliner till now, which is being so top in the world? Because I can remember the first award which has been given by Skytrax is to you is for this airliner as a low-cost carrier is in 2009. If I'm not mistaken, it's in Hamburg.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Mr. Tony Fernandez, I'm just asking, how can you maintain this?
Wow. Okay. That's a tough question to answer. Firstly, thank your dad for investing and tell him to buy more.
Yeah.
Was it still cheap?
Actually, you know,
yeah.
He first had 100,
yeah.
and now he has increased another 400, which means he's investing in your company about 500 shares.
Okay, cool. Time to buy more. So, it's a very tough question, but it's back to people. I surround myself with good people. I never give up. I put in 100% into everything I do. And yeah, there are a lot of failures as well, a lot of pressures. But it comes down to the word I said about your Vice Chancellor, it's passion. I love what I do. I was damn tired coming in here this morning. And then he made me walk around a hospital, right? That wasn't a hospital yet. And I'm like, what am I doing here? And then I see all of you. And I go to your entrepreneurial center where, you know, there's a girl selling drinks and the post office. And I'm like, got energy again, right? I'm excited. I've met Wawi and met Algerian boy and girl in red scarf, Zaza, right? Zara. Okay, Zaza sounds better. And I love this guy's face and his passion to do good. So I get energy. And I love it. Vice Chancellor's tired. He's like, hurry up, finish. I want to go home. But you give me energy, right? So that's what keeps me going. All right, there is no secret recipe or drink or whatever.
So one more thing. I would like to have this chance to ask you, because I'm in the 3rd year now. So after I finish my degree, ever since I was young, I'm very passionate in accounting. But since I flew your plane, right? I don't know why, but it gives me a boost, because every time when I do my presentations, my reports, I always talk about airlines.
Yeah.
So in this time, I want to take the chance that if you would hire me for, not even hire, internship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a limit to number of interns I can take.
Okay.
But what we're going to do with the Vice Chancellor's approval is AirAsia will run a careers recruitment here every year, and hopefully with other companies as well, to hopefully give people a chance to intern. Benji was an intern from Taylor's College and Taylor's University, Taylor something. And now he's doing a fantastic job for us. He's a full-time employee, and I have no doubt one day he will take over my job or at that level. We love interns. We love to train. Rodi was telling me, where do you get all these people? We get them from universities. But we give you the belief that you can do anything. And we give you experience that no other company would give you. Benji should pay me rather than I pay him a salary, because he's learned so much working for me and working in AirAsia, right? I tell him that every day. I still pay him stupidly. But honestly, if I told him you get no salary, he would take it. He would moan, but he would take it because he's learning so much. So we will do that. And I'm sure many of you will join us in a not too distant future. And don't forget, tell your dad buy more shares.
Yeah.
Okay, lady in red, sort of red, maroon. What's your name?
My name is Leknat. You can call me Leki.
Leki. Yeah. Okay, Leki and Wawi.
Hi, good afternoon to
Afternoon.
me. Okay, I'm Ada.
Hi, Ada.
I'm one of the Students Representative Councils UNISA Act 19, Majlis Perwakilan Pelajar. And I'm from Faculty of Health Science taking in Diploma Radiography. If yesterday was Asia's birthday, today is my birthday.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday.
So I wish one day we can be a team partner, because I want to have a big company like you. I want all around the world know me as they know you. Okay, one question. What is your future planning for UNISA student? And for your information, we have in UNISA we have a lot of students from Semenanjung, Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak. Could you give them a discount ticket for
This is an expensive trip.
for flight ticket, because they only go back to hometown for a specific occasion.
Okay.
So I'm very okay. So thank you.
Thank
Tani,
you.
I have one request from you.
Sure.
Can you sing me a song?
Sing you a song.
Yes.
Nasheed song. I don't want to spoil Raihan's song. Let me think. I will. Let me think. Okay? I have to sing a song in Korea next week, right? Okay. What song you want me to sing? Puji Pujian.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Fantastic. Okay, that's a song I can do. What was your name?
Ada.
Ada. Okay. On the count of 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Adha. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday and have a great year.
And lastly, our president,
Yes.
Harun bin Osman, send his regard to you.
Okay, say bye back to the president.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you for all your questions and answers, because we have run out of time.
I'll take one more question. Okay, 2. Okay, quick, while he's walking, you ask the question. Time management, time management. See, this is how I screw up time management, by the way.
My name is Nuranajiha Sofia. I'm from Diploma TESOL.
Yeah.
I share the same passion. You love music. I do love music. And I love this one particular boy group from Korea, BTS.
BTS.
Yes. I'm a huge fan of them. Since from their debut, I was following them on Twitter. So,
am I going to bring BTS to Malaysia?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I am going to Korea on Wednesday. And
because I promised my mom, she knew about me, my love towards the boys.
Yeah.
And she said, I spent too much time on them.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that bad on my study.
Okay.
So I said to her, if I get to their concert,
Yeah.
one concert only.
Yeah. Well, me and Rodi, we're going to Seoul. My wife is Korean. And so I'm going to, hopefully, Benji is supposed to fix the appointment. I'm very confident BTS will come to Bukit Jalil.
Because BTS always keep Malaysia.
I know. You know why?
I know why.
Yes. But I have a good minister now inside Sadiq.
You're going to bring them here?
I will bring them here.
Okay.
I will do my best. I mean, unless I tie them up and force them, they got to come by themselves. So I will do my best.
Please do your best.
I never expected a BTS question.
Because
in UNISA.
From a single movie, from
Yeah.
a single documentary, they gain 1 billion.
Yeah.
From a concert, you gain more.
Sure. That's why we're bringing them.
Yeah,
I'm not bringing them just for you. I'm going to charge you a lot of money.
Of course. I'll pay for them.
I know you will. How much would you pay?
500, 700.
Whoa! We're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah. Army is rich.
BTS coming in.
Yeah.
Film her later. And I'm going to post you. Okay? All right. Okay, last question. If you mention BTS, I'm not answering. Yes, sir. Last question of the day.
Hello, good afternoon, and thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for for choosing us, UNISA, as the one of the board of director. Can anyone give clap?
Okay, what do you want?
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to ask you about what's your next venture. You are talking about Caterham. You are talking about what's Asia and so on just now.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your next venture and what happened to Queen's Park Rangers now, if you don't mind?
Okay, no problem.
And then if you want to share about, just share what you want us to know.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, when you know, I've spent the last 1.5 hours telling you. Okay, so first thing, Queen's Park Rangers. We're a low-cost team. I'm bringing in a lot of young players. We have a small chance of getting promoted, small chance, which is getting tougher. But watch us next 2 years. We will go back up to the Premier League and we'll do it properly. Not with expensive players, but with young people who play with heart, that don't just look at the salary. I lost a lot of money by taking players who didn't care about the club, didn't have that passion. Now I have a lot of young players who are really good. My next dream, start a low-cost university. No. Can't beat UNISA, cheapest university in the world. No, I want to do low-cost hospitals. Right? If you look at the hospital that I went through just now, the first thing that went through my mind is, wow, it's going to be expensive because of the way it's designed, etc., etc. It's like MAS versus AirAsia. MAS is complicated, has so many classes, has so many different business models, while AirAsia just has one class. So our model is easy and cost is lower. So if you think of hospitals, what does a low-cost hospital mean? Does it mean that we give you half a Panadol? Or does it mean while you're operating, we'll say, sorry, you run out of time, please pay us some more or we won't stitch you up? No. It means we don't try and do everything. So talking to your vice chancellor, 25 specialties. Maybe 80% of people are sick with 20% of diseases. So you just focus on that 80%. You build a hospital to serve that 80%. You just don't try and do everything. And you make doctors work a little bit harder, because I saw my dad. My dad never worked. He'd come home and sleep in the afternoon, right? Come back for 2 hours, sleep, go back to work, finish at 5, right? You know, and doctors are a best trade union. They don't let nurses do anything. They don't let housemen do anything. They control everything. So there are many ways of changing it and making hospitals more affordable. Government can never look after everybody. They can't. Private is too expensive. So there must be something in between. So with artificial intelligence, with cloud, with better preventative care, I believe I can do that. When I do that, I'm not sure, but that's kind of in my brain.
Can I add a bit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have any special program to, you know, to absorb a Malaysian inside the Queen's Park Rangers,
Yeah.
You know,
Sure,
that
sure.
organization, yeah.
Sure.
Then I would like to be part of it, because my passion is, I think, football.
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
You come work for us at PSM for a start. Okay. I think time's up. Otherwise, I won't manage my time very well. What's your name? I forgot. Rifki. Rifki. Sit down. Okay. So, a lot of people want many things, but I like you. So I'm going to give you 3 tickets to Mecca. Okay? So you can go home today and tell your parents that AirAsia will give you 3 tickets to Mecca. And make your parents the happiest people in the world, because they have a wonderful son. Okay? And you're a good man. And I will ask Kamarudin, who is the best religious master in the world, who knows Mecca inside out, to help you with the accommodation and where to go, because I can't go in, to help you with accommodation and everything, right? So, thank you for making me feel very happy today. Good luck. Take care, okay? So you get your thing from Benji. All right? And send me the video when you tell your parents. Okay? Send to Benji. All right. Okay. So that's it. Dream. Because from some dreams comes some reality. I really love you guys. I love the passion. I love the welcome. And you made an old man very happy to come to Terengganu today and see everyone from UNISA. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you to Tan Sri Tony Fernandez for the Q&A session. And next, we would like to invite our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dato' Dr. Ahmad Zubaidi Abdul Latif, to present a token of appreciation to Tan Sri Tony Fernandez. Please welcome.
Birds of the University's Sultan. Where's the goat? Okay. Creating and enhancing service businesses and transformational of organizational culture. Let's keep this. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, we would like to invite everyone to come to the stage for a group photo. All right, students, just stand at your places. Then we'll get a picture over there.
Ada makan ya?